7 deaths have been reported since January this year owing to the influenza virus. According to the Epidemiology Unit, 143 cases of influenza have been reported during this time frame.
The most recent deaths associated with the influenza virus were reported from the Kegalle General Hospital. 35-year-old PB Priyanka Kumuduni was admitted to the Kegalle General Hospital on the 25th of this month with high fever. The victim was expecting a child at the time of her admission. Doctors were able to save the child, but Kumuduni was not so fortunate. Priyanka Kumuduni's final rites were performed in the Hemmatagama Madhuriya area this evening. Meanwhile, the influenza virus also claimed the life of 38-year-old W. Lakmali, a resident of Attapitiya, Ussapitiya.
It has not yet been confirmed as a respiratory syndrome. We suspect it to be the influenza AH1N1. Investigations are being carried out at present.
There are 143 influenza A H1N1 cases reported and confirmed by Medical Research Institute. From January up to now has been reported and confirmed. And there had been 7 deaths among these reported 143 cases.
Doctors warn the public to exercise caution in the event of a cold, throat infection accompanied with fever.
It is extremely important that one consults a specialist doctor if one contracts a cold, throat infection, cough or symptoms similar to pneumonia, accompanied with fever and body pains. We focus our attention on expectant mothers, secondly on the elderly and those with non-communicable diseases. We also focus on children. If children below the age of 2 contract this virus, it can become acute.
This virus spreads sporadically during the year. This is identified as a human influenza, an influenza virus that can be contracted only by humans. There is a risk of this virus spreading during the months of May, June and July. There is also a possibility of the virus spreading during December, January and February as well. I have also to remind the public that the influenza virus can remain throughout the whole year.
Newsfirst contacted Professor Malik Piris, attached to the University of Hong Kong, who is an expert on the influenza virus.
I understand that there have been a few deaths associated with influenza in Sri Lanka in recent weeks. This is not surprising. The normal human influenza viruses, H1N1 or H3N2, do occasionally cause severe disease and death, particularly in older people. So almost certainly these severe illnesses caused by influenza are due to the normal human influenza viruses. Now, I gather there is some concern as to whether these cases could be due to unusual viruses like avian influenza. I would again say that it is extremely unlikely that that is the case. But the way to identify that would be to test the virus that is identified from these patients to characterize them as H1N1 or H3N2, and if it is not one of those seasonal influenza viruses, then you have to think of other influenza agents. But as I say, it would be extremely unlikely that such a virus would end up in Sri Lanka at this point in time.